kidding. I love it. She's great. Next storyteller we have coming up is one of my favorite human beings on the planet. Get the pleasure of doing siblings improv with the man and getting to create all the time. He is a creative program director over at CIY and doing amazing things with the Move events. And he's got a lovely wife named Tori and a beautiful daughter named Alice. If he could change one thing about his life, it would be the amount of books sitting on his nightstand unfinished right now. 6 to be exact. And so he'd love to finish those 6 books. And he once received a cease and desist letter from Chuck Norris himself. I'm really interested about that. But you'll have to find it later to hear about that story. Tonight he is telling you the first date. Give it a round of applause.
So it was the summer of 1997. No Money, No Problems was at the top of the charts. Men in Black had just been released in theaters, and our nation was still about 6 months from the Monica Lewinsky scandal dominating the headlines. And I met a girl. Now, those last 2 events are not related, it just helps with context. I met a girl on a church trip. Call it fate, if you will, but we actually got to spend a lot of time together that week. We told stories and we laughed together. It was a wonderful, wonderful 5 days that I thought would never end. And, well, she was gorgeous. Everything you could want in a high school girl. She was intelligent and pretty beyond her years and had the calves of a tennis player because she was one, and she was a senior. I, on the other hand, was entering the awkward years. I was lanky and tall, mostly a neck in cargo pants, and a sophomore. I did have one thing going for me, actually. She thought that I was funny, and she thought that I was cute, actually. Not really good cute, but more like little brother cute, or baby turtle cute. And I've never done the research, but I'm assuming that it takes a baby turtle a long time to get to second base. Because it's a turtle. And if you're keeping notes, you recall that we were actually 2 years apart. And in some circles, this is the kind of thing that might be frowned upon. But age is actually only a number, right? And plus, with the advances in modern science, I recognized that when I am 145 years old, she'll be 147, and then it won't be that weird. So I began to, when we got home from the trip, to think, how am I going to continue this relationship? How am I going to move this thing forward? And if you want to get a girl to notice you, well, back in the 90s, the tactics were pretty simple. It's extremely complicated these days, but back then, it really was only 3 steps. First thing you do is you call her up. You pick up what was known as a home phone, you dial 7 numbers, and hopefully she answers on the other line. Step 2, you get her number. Now, I was looking for more of a fly under the radar approach. Most of the time when you want to get a girl's number, especially in those days, you would walk up to them, you would say, hey, can I have your number? And they would probably scribble it on a cocktail napkin. At least that's what they did in the movies. And the number was always 555-5555. With a heart around it. I thought that was too, shall we say, forward. Too bold for my 15-year-old self. And so I went another route to getting her number. I looked it up in the phone book. It was a public number. Anyone could find it. You happen to know her stepdad's last name. And so I looked it up, and I remember getting the phone book out, flipping through the pages, going to my room, laying it out on my bed, picking up my own phone that was in my own room, and picking up the phone and dialing the first 6 numbers about 40 times. Until finally, I hit step. It's ringing. Hey, hi, hello, hello, yeah, hi, this is Eric, Epperson, from the church trip. Baby turtle, cute. Ah, cool. Hey. So listen. So this is so some people are coming over to my house Monday, and just a bunch of people, bunch of cool. Really, I don't know why they're coming over. A bunch of cool people are coming to my house, and I don't know. Maybe you want to join us and come over with all these people. I should tell you now that there were no people coming over to my house on Monday night. This is what is known as a lie. So anyway, so Monday night. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do you say? Like 8 o'clock? I mean, I told him 8 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. I will see you and a lot of other people. Then she walked. 8 o'clock on the dot. She pulls into my empty driveway. Walks up to the door, and I open it. Hello. She asked a very relevant question. Where is everyone? Me, being a planner, had an excuse for every single person why they could miss. Well, I mean, Alan had this, he had to go with his mom, and Adam's grounded again, and Anna couldn't get a ride over, and well, Lindsay's got this band thing, I don't know what it is, so it's just you and me. Oh, okay. Well, okay. And I said, I mean, since no one else is here, how about we go play miniature golf and get ice cream? And that's when I learned it's a lot easier to ask a girl on a date when she's already on a date with you. So we get in her car. She drove because, after all, I was 15. We go play miniature golf. We go get ice cream. We go have, as I recall it, a magical evening. At the end of the night, she drives me back to my house. We pull into the driveway. She puts the car in park. She doesn't even take her seatbelt off. She just kind of looks at me. And I'm thinking, aren't you at least going to walk a guy to the door? So I take my seatbelt off and I get out and kind of keep my hand on the car all the way around to the driver's side because, well, I figure she won't drive off if I'm still touching the automobile. And I get at her door and I just kind of lean up against it. She's still knuckles firmly on the steering wheel. And she rolls down the window, just enough to hear things, and began fumbling with my keys. And by keys, I mean keychain, because after all, I was 15. I had a really good time tonight. So, man, you can play golf, right? Mini golf, it's like, mini? Hey, you're really good. That volcano is tough. Like, she's looking straight ahead, her knuckles turning white, and yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I'm just free when I'm with you, you know? Like, I feel stuff. Like, I feel like when I'm with you, I know what yellow feels like. And what blue tastes like. it's like a whole nother dimension. I assume at this point maybe she's began to piece things together. After all, she was really intelligent. And, well, I don't know what surge of confidence came over me. But I was measuring the window, and it was down enough. I've heard the phrase, if you can get your foot in the door. I wonder what can happen if you get your head in a window. So I just went for it. And I began to push my head through the window. And go in for what I assume to be the most magical moment of her life. As I am descending, shall we say, approaching the landing, she leans back in her seat and fakes a cough. She hadn't been hoarse all night, but all of a sudden, I don't want to get you sick. And I said, without hesitating a moment, don't worry, baby, it will be worth it. And kissed her. She didn't talk to me for 6 months. But I learned something that night. And it sounds so simple, but it's just so true. Like, if you want something, like if you really, really want something, you've got to find any way possible to go and get that something. And for goodness sakes, if you have a chance, kiss the girl. And that's not a metaphor either. I am literally saying, if you have a chance to kiss a girl, you should kiss a girl. And use tongue if you can. Because I actually did kiss her again. It was several years later. But it was on our wedding day.